Hi, in this video I'd like to talk about the dictionary. Now the dictionary is a very useful little data structure, and the other data structure that you may know of is the array. They work in different ways and they're used for different things. So let's recap on the array so I can extend your knowledge into understanding the dictionary. So if you're looking at an array, you might give the array some kind of name like animals. And the array has locations. It has locations. Or we call it index, even more specific index. Index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3. So there's four here. You can put a cat, dog, mouse, gorilla. Is that how you spell gorilla? Was it one yeah, one And the way we use an array is very useful because this is in order. So you can use a for loop to go through the array and print this off in order, or do whatever you need to do in order. Maybe draw them in order, whatever. So you could, you know, if you want to replace mouse, you'd go animals array square bracket, put 2 in, and then you can just store a different thing in there like horse. If you type that code in, when that will take horse and replace it with this value here. And that's pretty much how you use an array. So the key with the array is you use numbers, your index numbers, to access different array locations, right? You use numbers. With a dictionary, it's a little bit different. So you could still have an animals dictionary, just like here, and you can still have your index. But here's the cool part of it. You don't use numbers to access your index. You could use, if you'd like, you could use numbers, but mainly you would use it for, you could use cat. You could actually use the actual names of the animals as your locator. So if you're locating cat, you can go animals, and then you write cat, right? And then you could get something here. So the cat could say meow, you know, meow, bark, and squeak, and hoo, right? Hoo, you know, right? So now, if I type cat animals cat, I'll get meow. If I type animals dog, I get bark or woof, maybe wolf, you know, woof. And if I want to change how the animals sound, you could put cat as e-or, you know, e-or, I have no idea, e-or, and then this would be replaced with e-or because I've changed the way the animals kind of sound. And in some sense, this dictionary isn't really an animals dictionary, it's more like a animal sounds dictionary. And I could use the array and the dictionary together, you know? I can use them together. Let's do it. So let's create an array of animals. So I'll go var animals equals square brackets, because it's an array. That's an array. Square brackets are arrays. Remember that. Arrays are square brackets. Right? And I'd go animals 0, put a cat in there. Animals 1, put a dog in there. Animals 2, put a, I don't know, it doesn't matter, pig in there. I'll just change it up a bit. Alright. And of course, if I go text animals one, I should get a dog. I need to give it a fill. There's dog there. All right. Now let's create a dictionary. So var, I'll call this dictionary animal sounds instead. And with a dictionary, we use curly brackets. So dictionaries use curly brackets. Remember that. And same deal. Got the semicolon. Same deal. I can go animal sounds location cat. So that's my locator. Cat. The word cat is my locator, my index, right? And I can give this a meow. I don't even have to give it a meow. I could give it like, I got 3 cats, you know, 5 cats. I can represent anything, but since I'm representing sounds, I'll go meow. Animals, sounds, dog. The dog goes wolf. And animal sounds, pig goes school, oink, oink. And now if I go text animal sounds and I choose the cat, it should say choose a cat. Oh, actually, to choose it, we'll use .cat. I think that's what they want. Yeah, actually, they don't like it, this notation. I'm just going to go .cat. .dog. They say it's better. .pig. And let's chuck this at 300, 300. Here it goes, meow. There. So the sound cat animal sounds .cat. Now we use dot. I don't like to use dot because in other languages I actually prefer using this. Right? I prefer using that notation, but they don't like it in this language, so we'll use that. At some point I will use this though, this notation, but for other purposes. Alright, so I will use .cat, I guess. So now we use these indexes as these words as our index, right? And there you go. Now let's try to use these together. Let's go text. Let's turn off these. All right. Let's do this instead. Let's go. First, what I'll do is I'll go animal sounds, animals 1, and I'll put that in mystery animal, mystery sound, and I'm going to ask you what sound that is. Mystery sound. Put out 100, 100. Semicolon here. Mystery. Oh, wolf. Now let's try and break that down a little bit. So what have I written here? I've said animal 1 will produce a dog. Dog then gets inserted, gets used as an index in animal sounds. So this thing produces the dog. This dog then gets used with this thing to call out the wolf. So now I can use these numbers here. 2 will be oink, and 1 will be, and 0 will be meow. So this is where we use the bracket index. Remember the dot index here? I don't like. Well, I have to use it for this language, but I can use the bracket index if I'm using a memory location to access another memory location, which is great. Now, why did I talk about dictionaries? this is one of the ways you could use dictionaries, but the main reason I use dictionaries is not because of this, but when I'm creating a game, I need key inputs. I need to detect key inputs, and I don't like using their API. I like to make my own. So I like to go, let me just check the time before I move on. Good amount of time. I like to go var key pressed equals function and var key released. And this is two functions that I pull up and I like to use in my games. Right? And all of these I can delete now, don't need them anymore. So if you're following along, you should have a copy of this. I'm going to pause if you need it and then copy it, else I'm going to delete all of that. And what I do is I like to use var keys as a dictionary, and I'll tell you why I like this. So what I want these keys to do is take note. If I had a down key, up key, left key, right key, I want to know, these are my index, right? I want to know whether they're true or false. I want to know if they've been pressed or not pressed. So true means they're pressed down, you hold it down, and false means so technically, since false means so true means you're holding the button down, false means you've let the button go, and that's how I want to use my keys, right? So over here, this is my keys here, and when I press a key, the key code, I want to set that key code. So let's say I press the key. I'll just go text key code just to show you what's happening. Key code at 200. Right? Let's restart and let's press a arrow. Right? Key code 2 string. I'm gonna put 2 string. I don't think there's a capital there. Let's try that. Oh, I need fill. Red, okay. So 38. So every time I punch right, it's 39. I punch up, it's 38. I punch sideways, it's 37. So you can see these key codes here. Every time I press a button, these key codes register some value, and I want to know if that value is true or false. So what I do is I like to use this, and I chuck in key code as the indexer, and I set it to true. So let's say I press the button and the key code is up. Well, it sets up to true when I press it down. When I release the key though, if I release the up key, release up key, I want to set it to false. So right now I'm using these two functions to control, to register whether I've held it down or released it. And then in my game, all I need to do is check if key code, if up is false, for example, I know that I've released the up key, I could do something. Or I could check if keys down is equal to true, and then I could do something. Can I do something? And I can use these codes in my game because I just need to set this up. Don't need that anymore. Just put this at the top of your code, and these ones can be at the bottom of your code. This one is at the bottom. Put them at the bottom, right? And really, these lines of codes, I'll just hide that for a little bit. These line of codes is all I need to write, so that it will detect any key input and tell me whether those key inputs are down or not down, whether they're true or whether they're. And that's the reason I like to use dictionaries. Thanks for listening.